Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2024 Audi RS3 and I'm going to make a two-part video. This is going to be part one, going over why the Audi RS3 is worth the upgrade over a MK8 Golf R, and then the second part of the video, which will be a different video, will be why the Golf R is a better option than the RS3. And I'll share my personal thoughts at the end of each video, so if you guys want to hear my input on it, stay tuned for the end. But this video will be based off of, and the next one will be based off of factual information so that you guys can really decide for yourself which decision is best for you. So let's go ahead and hop in the RS3 here and take it for a spin. By the way, stay tuned. We're going to be comparing it with the M2, not only in performance, but also in which one's a better buy. Similar video to this one. But let's hop in the RS3 right now, take it for a spin, and go over our reasoning. Alright guys, we're at a little undisclosed location here. I got my notes in front of me. So first off, obviously the most obvious one, the RS3 has the 5-cylinder engine. It's a super special engine. It's a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine. It sounds extremely unique. So the exhaust note is much better than the Golf R. It is slightly louder than the Golf R, stock for stock. And it does have more power than the Golf R. So this makes 400, the Golf R makes 315. So definitely much more power with the RS3, and there's way more mod potential with the RS3 as well, because obviously the 400 horsepower, that's just the starting point, right? You can do E85, do downpipe, you know, all kinds of mods to get this car to make a lot of power. The transmission, it's a DQ 500, which is more beefed up than the DQ 381 in the Golf R. So the transmission can hold up to a little bit more power. So definitely performance-wise, the RS3 has it over the Golf R, especially in stock for stock form. Let's talk about looks. So looks, obviously beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? But some people, I'm not gonna say I do, but some people think the RS3 looks much better than the Golf R. And the RS3 is a great looking vehicle. I agree. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't think it was a good looking car. Looks really good. You can see we got the 19s on there. This is Kimura gray metallic. Got the nice window tint on there. It does look really nice. And the back end looks good too. So we can go ahead and go to the back here. Back end looks very nice as well. It is a really good looking car. So looks, definitely the RS3 looks really good. Does it look better than the Golf R? That's up to you to decide. Physical climate control buttons. So let's go ahead and go inside here and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Because a lot of times people complained on the Golf R, the MK8 generation. That's what I'm comparing it to, by the way, not an old Golf R. I'm comparing it to the MK8. This car has actual physical climate control buttons. That's what these buttons right here are for. So this will adjust like your fan speed, your temperatures, and all that stuff. You can adjust from these buttons right here. Your heated seat, it is an actual button. Your auto climate control, all that stuff are actual physical buttons. Same with the drive modes. You press this button here. You can click it on the screen as well, or you can just cycle through using the drive select mode, traction control. All that stuff is all physical buttons, where the Golf R does have like a lot of touchscreen buttons. So a lot of people, they don't like you know, having to go through the touchscreen to get to some of the settings. That wasn't really an issue with my Golf R, but you know, I've heard reports that people don't really like that. Also the power folding mirrors. So these mirrors are power folding. So let me show you guys real quick. I'm sure you know how power folding mirrors work, but it doesn't want to work right now. But anyway, you guys are gonna have to take my word for it. The mirrors are power folding in this one, whereas the Golf R 2022 and 2023 did not have it. 2024 and newer, they do actually have the power folding mirrors now. But that's one thing that this car had that my 2023 Golf R did not. These headlights do a cool little light show when you press the unlock button, so I'll try to demonstrate that for you guys. Hopefully it does it here for me. So go like that. RS3. And before we hop inside and go for a spin, another benefit to the RS3, obviously since it has more power, it has these really big beefy 6-piston front brakes with the actual like caliper. The Golf R still has I think they're called sliding calipers. It looks cool, it has R logo on it, but these ones definitely look better with the huge 6 pistons. Like those are massive brakes, and the brake pedal feel is definitely a lot better in this one too. The brakes, you can definitely tell they're way stronger than the Golf R brakes. All right guys, I got you on the POV hat. I finally found my hat, so I don't have to worry about holding the GoPro anymore. And we're gonna go for a quick spin here. And I'm gonna go over some more things and also my thoughts. So let me turn this down just so you guys can hear me. So the RS3 is supposed to have like a more premium interior, right? So like you do have the soft dash, although the Golf R did have a soft dash as well. You know, you have this somewhat soft door panel here. You have the Alcantara in the sides. So it does have some things that do make it a little bit more premium than the Golf R. It has this diamond quilting on the leather seats, which does look very premium as well. Although the Golf R had Napa leather seats, which were also very nice for the front. But the RS3 actually gets the Napa leather also in the back, whereas the Golf R only had the Napa leather seats in the front, but in the back you had like more like pleather style seats, or leatherette, whatever they call it. Another benefit to the RS3 is that it does not have auto start stop. So my Golf R was tuned, and within the tune I had it so that the auto start stop stays on whatever you had it programmed to last. But on the stock tune, the auto start stop would, you know, start up every single time you'd get in the car or turn back on. So you'd have to, you know, make an effort to disable that every single time you get in the car. Whereas the RS3, it doesn't have the auto start stop. So you don't have to worry about having to try to disable that every single time. So that's another nice benefit of the RS3. And then, you know, like the most obvious one, like the power, really. Like, we'll do a little pull once we get up here. Stock for stock, you know, it's not fair to really compare tuned versus stock, even though my Golf R was tuned. Stock for stock, this car is faster. Like there's no doubting this car is faster, and it sounds way better. You know, it does sound like kind of like a V10. I know the RS3 is kind of known for its sound. So once we turn this corner here, let's put ourselves in dynamic. A lot of people are suggesting I put it in dynamic, and then make sure this is an S, which it is. And we'll just do a little takeoff here. Let me turn off traction control too. Just do a little takeoff. It definitely gets up and goes. Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that the power is definitely more stock for stock on the RS3. I mean, it makes 400, whereas the Golf R makes 315. So that's definitely a noticeable difference, even though this car is about 200 pounds heavier than a Golf R. You can definitely notice that difference. Let's put ourselves back down into the auto mode here. And then I just want to kind of share my thoughts. So a lot of these things, I'll kind of go over it briefly in my thoughts on each point. The 5-cylinder engine, no denying it does sound better than the Golf R, right? Power, it's faster stock for stock. However, my Golf R had a E85 tune, which made it feel just as fast as this car, and it might even be just as fast as this car, maybe even faster. So I'm going to actually run some of the people I ran with my E85 Golf R with this one and see if it's actually faster or slower, and we'll really see. Draggy testing shows that they're very close, but we'll see what it really ends up being. Another thing is the physical climate controls. That's great, that's cool, but I honestly didn't have any issues with my Golf R with touch controls. I feel like that was just blown out of proportion with people that didn't know how to use the car. You know, I got used to it very quickly with my GTI, and then I moved into the R, and it was super easy for me. Power folding mirrors, I didn't really care about that much, but it is a cool feature to have. The headlights with the cool matrix design, again, it's cool, but not really anything that I had to have on mine. My Golf R had really nice headlights that lit up the road good. The high beams were cool. The headlights looked cool because they had the projector, and then they had another projector in the middle. So it had a really cool design, so I wasn't really too concerned with that. The premium interior, this interior does feel like a tiny step up from the Golf R, but when I say tiny, I mean tiny. Like even the Golf R had some things that this interior doesn't have, which I'll cover in my Golf R, you know, why the Golf R is better than the RS3 video. But the interior, honestly, this is nice, but it's not, doesn't feel like I'm in like some crazy more expensive car than the Golf R, even though I am. Another thing, like the brand, the prestige, the recognition, everyone knows the RS3 is a 5-cylinder engine. Everyone knows the RS3 is a car that you can just mod and make crazy. So it does have kind of like a cool following, which is nice. I think more so than the Golf R, but that stuff is not really important to me. I don't really care what other people think. I care about what I think of the vehicle. And I think the RS3 is an excellent car. It's definitely, I wouldn't buy it if it wasn't a good car. It's just the difference between the Golf R and the RS3 is such a huge price difference for not as big of a difference as far as like features and what you get with it, in my personal opinion. And then last but not least, the 6-piston brakes. the Golf R, it stopped fine. This one does stop faster, so that's kind of cool. I like that it stops faster and the brakes look cool, so I do kind of like that upgrade. But I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on the whole thing at the end of the video, just so you guys know what I think of it. I want to go over the factual stuff first, and then I want to go over my opinion at the end, just so you guys can really get a good idea of what the differences are. And then it does have this cool carbon fiber. I do like this carbon fiber trim. I hope it's real. I don't know if it's real or not. I know my Golf R was real carbon fiber, but I don't know if this one's real. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of the RS3 in the comments below? Do you think it's much better than the Golf R? Do you think the Golf R is better? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned for part 2.